Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something every single one of us has pondered at some point in life. Starting fresh. A new beginning. A clean slate. Maybe you felt stuck, overwhelmed, or disillusioned, thinking, if only I had a second chance, I could make it right. Let me tell you, starting a new life isn't reserved for those moments when the universe hands you a golden opportunity. No, it's available to you at any time, in any place, and at any stage. It all begins with one simple yet profound decision: the choice to change. You see, life is a series of choices. Every day, whether consciously or unconsciously, you are making decisions that shape your future. But here's the catch. Most people drift through life, waiting for the perfect moment to make a big move, to finally turn things around. And while they wait, they stand still, anchored by indecision and fear. They think, I'll start when the time is right, when I feel ready, when the stars align. But let me give you a truth that might sting a little. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The idea of waiting for the perfect moment is a trap, a mirage in the desert of procrastination. Time waits for no one. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and before you know it, the life you dreamed of remains just that, a dream. If you want to start a new life, you have to create the moment. You have to act. As the saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So where do you begin? The first step to starting a new life is taking responsibility. Now, this is where many people hesitate. Taking responsibility isn't easy. It means looking in the mirror and admitting that where you are today is the result of the choices you've made up until now. It means letting go of excuses, no matter how valid they may seem, and refusing to blame others for your circumstances. But let me assure you, this isn't about beating yourself up. It's about empowering yourself. Because when you take responsibility, you take control. You stop being a victim of life's circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. Let me share a quick story. Years ago, a young man came to me after losing everything. His job, his relationship, his savings. He told me, "Jim, I don't know what to do. I've hit rock bottom." I asked him one question. Are you ready to take responsibility for where you are? He hesitated, but finally said yes. That was the moment his life began to change. Not because I gave him a magical formula or a 10-step plan, but because he made the choice to own his situation and commit to turning it around. Within a year, that young man had rebuilt his career, his confidence, and his life. All because he decided to stop waiting for a rescue and became his own hero. Now, responsibility is just the foundation. The next step is setting clear intentions. Let me tell you, clarity is power. When you know what you want, you can chart a course to get there. Without a vision, you're like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly and hoping to land somewhere good. But hope is not a strategy. You must decide what kind of life you want to build. Write it down. Be specific. Not, I want to be happy, but I want to wake up every day feeling fulfilled, healthy, and purposeful. Clarity gives you direction, and direction gives you momentum. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, starting a new life requires action. Not someday, not tomorrow, today. The smallest step forward is infinitely more powerful than the grandest intentions left unfulfilled. Action doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be consistent. Remember, it's not the mountain you conquer, It's the habits you build along the way. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. The perfect moment you've been waiting for is now. Decide today to take responsibility, set your intentions, and take that first step toward the life you've been dreaming of. It won't be easy, but nothing worth having ever is. And let me tell you, the journey is worth it, because every choice you make, every action you take, brings you closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Don't wait another day. Don't wait for permission or a guarantee of success. Just begin. Start where you are, with what you have, and watch how life begins to unfold in ways you never imagined. The power to start a new life isn't out there. It's already within you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a truth as timeless as the sun rising in the east. Your life will only change when you make the decision to change it. Not a half-hearted wish, not a fleeting thought, but a real, firm decision. The kind of decision that sparks a fire in your heart and tells the world, enough is enough. I'm ready to start anew. It's in that moment of decision that the tide begins to turn and the winds of change start to fill your sails. But let's be honest, making that decision isn't easy. Most people never reach it. Why? Because they're waiting. Waiting for the stars to align, for the fear to disappear, for the right moment to arrive. Let me remind you of something. The right moment doesn't come to you, you create it. The perfect time to start doesn't exist. Waiting is the thief of opportunity, and hesitation is the enemy of progress. If you're waiting for your fears to vanish, or for the world to hand you an invitation, you'll be waiting for a lifetime. Now here's where the magic happens. The moment you decide to start, something shifts. It's not just a shift in your circumstances, it's a shift in you. Your mindset changes, your focus sharpens, your emotions start to align with your goals. Suddenly, possibilities appear where you once saw barriers, and solutions emerge where there were only problems. But let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't about wishful thinking or blind optimism. It's about taking full ownership of your life and making a conscious, deliberate choice to move forward, no matter how uncertain or daunting the path may seem. If you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. So, what does it take to make that decision? It starts with a commitment to accountability. You have to stop making excuses. Stop blaming the world and start looking inward. The decision to start isn't about the circumstances around you. It's about the determination within you. Let me share a story. There was a man I once met. Let's call him Jack. Jack had spent years stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. He blamed his boss for not recognizing his talents, the economy for his lack of financial success, and even his parents for the way he was raised. But one day, Jack had an epiphany. He realized that none of those things were going to change. The only thing he had control over was himself, and I think he started working out 5 days a week. So he made the decision to stop blaming and start building. Within months, Jack had taken a course to improve his skills, landed a new job, and began saving to start his own business. What changed? Jack didn't wait for life to hand him an opportunity. He created one by deciding to act. The same is true for you. The decision to start a new life requires you to embrace action as the catalyst for transformation. Fear will be there, no doubt about it. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But let me tell you this. Fear is not the enemy. Inaction is. You don't overcome fear by waiting for it to disappear. You overcome it by stepping into it. Take the first step, no matter how small, and you'll find that fear begins to shrink in the face of action. Here's the beauty of making a decision to start. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need a perfect plan or a guarantee of success. All you need is the courage to begin. As you take action, clarity will come. If you want to start a new life, there's one critical truth you must embrace, and that is this: you are responsible for the life you're living right now. I know it's not a comfortable thing to hear, but it's essential for your growth. It's the cornerstone upon which a fresh start is built. Taking full responsibility for your life is not about guilt, shame, or self-blame. It's about taking control, taking ownership, and recognizing that no matter where you are, you have the power to change the course of your journey. Let's get one thing straight. Blaming circumstances, people, or the past for where you are today is a trap. It's the easiest thing in the world to point fingers, to say, it's the economy, it's my upbringing, it's my boss, it's my luck. But here's the problem with that kind of thinking. It keeps you stuck. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction. That's exactly what responsibility is. It's the decision to change your direction. It's realizing that no matter how your life may look right now, you are the captain of your ship. And if you don't like where you're headed, it's up to you to steer in a new direction. Blaming your circumstances doesn't give you the power to change them. In fact, it's one of the greatest ways to remain stagnant. Blame may feel good in the short term. It may offer temporary relief from the weight of responsibility, but in the long run, it does nothing to move you closer to your goals. You'll remain trapped in a cycle of inaction and regret. And that's a dangerous place to be if you want to start anew. When you decide to take responsibility for your life, you stop looking at the past as an excuse and start seeing it as a lesson. You realize that your failures, mistakes, and setbacks weren't obstacles. They were stepping stones to growth. The past is a place of reference, not residence. The moment you take responsibility, you shift your mindset from being a victim of your circumstances to being the master of your destiny. And that, my friends, is where your new life begins. Now let's talk about how you can take practical steps to fully own your life and create the transformation you desire. Taking responsibility is not a passive act. It's an active, ongoing process that requires commitment, focus, and most importantly, action. Here are some practical steps you can take to begin. 1. Manage your time wisely. Time is one of the most valuable resources you have, yet it's the one thing you cannot get back once it's gone. Taking responsibility for your life starts with taking control of your time. You need to stop wasting hours on things that don't contribute to your goals and start using your time intentionally. Begin by assessing how you're currently spending your time. Are you spending it on activities that move you closer to your goals, or are you letting distractions pull you in 1,000 different directions? Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. So start scheduling your day around the things that matter most to your success. Prioritize your most important tasks and don't let trivial matters steal your time. Every minute you waste is a minute you'll never get back. 2. Build productive habits. Habits are the foundation of everything you do. If you want a new life, you need new habits. The most successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Start by identifying the habits that are holding you back. Are you procrastinating? Are you spending too much time on social media? Are you neglecting your health? Once you identify the habits that are not serving you, replace them with productive ones. Whether it's waking up earlier, exercising regularly, reading more, or setting clear daily goals, your habits are the key to your transformation. It's important to understand that habits take time to form. It's about consistency. So start small. Commit to 1 or 2 habits at a time and stick with them. As you build these habits, they'll become second nature, and you'll see the results pile up. 3. Set boundaries. One of the most powerful ways to take responsibility for your life is by setting clear boundaries. You have to set the standard for your life and then enforce it. You can't change your life if you're constantly being pulled in different directions by the demands of others. Set boundaries with your time, your energy, and your resources. Don't allow people to drain you or distract you from your goals. If someone or something is standing in the way of your success, it's time to make some tough decisions. It's okay to say no, to protect your time, and to prioritize your well-being. Remember, the most successful people don't try to please everyone. They focus on what truly matters. 4. Own your choices and your outcomes. Ultimately, taking responsibility means owning both your successes and your failures. Every choice you make has a ripple effect. Whether you're choosing to hit snooze on the alarm or to work on your dreams, every decision matters. Don't just take credit for your wins. Take responsibility for your losses too. It's through failure that we learn the most. And when you embrace responsibility for everything that happens in your life, you stop looking for excuses and start finding solutions. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your reality. Once you adopt this mindset, you'll find that nothing can hold you back. Starting over and taking responsibility for your life is the key to creating the future you desire. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about recognizing that the moment to change is right now. Stop blaming others, stop making excuses, and start taking ownership of your time, your habits, and your choices. When you do, you'll unlock the power to transform your life. And you'll discover that you've had the ability to do so all along. Remember, you don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. Make every hour count, and watch how your life begins to shift in ways you never imagined. Let's talk about something crucial for your new life: discipline. If you're serious about making a change, about transforming your life from where you are today to where you want to be, discipline is the bridge that gets you there. Now, before you start thinking this is just another boring, do your homework type of advice, let me assure you, this is the foundation of real, lasting success. Discipline is what separates those who talk about their dreams from those who actually live them. It's the force that turns those dreams from vague fantasies into tangible, undeniable reality. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. And that, my friends, is exactly why discipline is so powerful. You see, motivation is like a spark. It ignites the fire, gets you excited, fired up, and ready to take on the world. But sparks fade. The excitement dies down, and the drive can quickly diminish. Motivation alone is not enough to get you through the long, hard road of change. What you need is discipline. Discipline is the fuel that keeps your engine running when motivation has long since left the building. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. These simple, repeated actions, over time, will compound into something extraordinary. But let me break it down for you. Why discipline wins over motivation. It's easy to start a new goal when you're motivated, right? You've probably had days when you've set ambitious plans, fired up by a motivational video or speech, only to find yourself stuck for a few days or weeks later. That's the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is temporary. Discipline, on the other hand, is a long-term commitment to doing the work, even when you're not seeing immediate results. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to lose weight and get in shape. The first few days, you're full of energy. You're at the gym every morning, pushing hard, maybe even seeing some quick results. But then, a week or two later, the excitement starts to wear off. You don't feel as motivated anymore. The early results start to slow down. And that's when most people give up. They forget that discipline is the key to success in the long run. And that's when most people give up. They forget that discipline is the key to success. It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. When you go to the gym for the 50th time and you don't feel any different, that's discipline. When you wake up at 5 a.m. to work on your side business, even though you'd rather sleep in, that's discipline. The magic happens when you keep going, when you refuse to slow, even if the progress feels slow. Now, here's the exciting part. Those small daily actions, when they're done consistently, build momentum. They add up in ways you can't even predict. If you take one small step every day, whether it's working out for 20 minutes, writing one page of your book, or saving $5. Over time, those small steps will compound into something huge. The same thing goes for everything. Whether it's working out for 20 minutes, writing one page, breaking up a dispute, sending a text, making a video, over time, those small steps will compound into something huge. Think about the concept of compound interest. If you invest just $1 a day for 365 days, you might not see a huge return on day 1 or day 30, but at the end of the year, those dollars add up. The same applies to discipline. Each day, you invest small amounts of energy, effort, and time into your goals. And over the course of weeks, months, and years, those small investments yield big returns. If you just learn to do a little bit better every day, you will eventually be better than most people. And that's the key, just a little better every day. That's the magic of discipline. It's not about giant leaps or overnight transformation. It's about the commitment to small, steady progress every single day. When you keep doing this, the results will start to show up in ways you never imagined. Now, I know that developing discipline isn't easy at first. The beginning stages are always the hardest. But here's the good news. Discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed and improved over time. Think of it like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. At first, you might struggle to stick to your routine. You might feel resistance, and there will be days when you want to give up. But every time you push through that resistance, you strengthen your discipline muscle. Each time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, your ability to stay consistent grows. Over time, discipline becomes second nature. It doesn't feel like a burden anymore. It feels like a part of who you are. There will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The small daily actions that you repeat over time will change your life in ways that can't be achieved by motivation alone. Discipline is the key to unlocking that change. It's not the most talented or gifted people who succeed. It's the ones who stay consistent, who continue to show up every day, no matter what. So if you're serious about starting a new life, I encourage you to embrace discipline. Don't rely on motivation to push you through the tough days. Let discipline be your guide. Understand that it's the small, consistent actions that will compound into huge results. Stay focused, stay committed, and know that as you keep showing up every day, you are getting closer to your goals. Discipline isn't a one-time thing. It's a lifelong commitment. But if you stick with it day after day, your dreams will no longer be distant visions. They will become your reality. The few simple disciplines practiced every day will turn your dreams into achievements. Start small, be consistent, and watch your life change before your very eyes. Setting goals and creating momentum. If you're serious about starting a new life, about truly transforming your reality, you need one thing above all else, which are goals. Without clear, measurable goals, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly. You'll be working hard, but you won't be moving in any direction that leads to a meaningful change. Goals are the fuel in the furnace of achievement. Without goals, you're just burning energy with no real results to show for it. But here's the catch. It's not enough to just have goals. You need to set them with intention, with clarity, and with an understanding that achieving them will take time, discipline, and consistent effort. Let's break down why setting goals is so essential to starting a new life, and how this simple yet powerful act can create the momentum that drives you toward the future you've always wanted. The importance of clear, measurable goals. First, let's talk about clarity. A goal that's vague or undefined will not guide you anywhere. You need a goal that is specific and measurable. It needs to be something you can clearly picture and track progress against. The major key to your better future is you. But if you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you've arrived? Let's say you want to lose weight, but you just tell yourself, I want to get in better shape. Well, what does that even mean? How will you know when you've succeeded? Instead, let's make it concrete. I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 3 months. Now that's a goal you can work with. It's specific, measurable, and time-bound. You can track your progress each week, adjust your efforts if needed, and stay focused on the ultimate target. Success is not an accident. It's the result of purposeful,